From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Monday morning. Hope everyone had a superb weekend. The weather was superb, at least on Sunday. Saturday, it was windy and it was a little gray out there. But for right now, you're taking a live look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart, already looking peachy up in the sky for this morning. It's going to be another gorgeous day out there. Now, it is a little brisk this morning as we're seeing temperatures in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations. In fact, mostly in the 30s, and we're even seeing some 20s and 30s up in the mountains. So you might have to break out the ice scraper up in the Cascades or in the Blues, but for now, for lower elevations, looks like it's just a smidge too warm for that. Here's your day planner for today. For lower elevations, going to be up into the 60s and 70s as soon as lunchtime, and then up into the 70s at the peak of daytime heating. It's going to be a sunny and 75 kind of day for lower elevations. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Our forecast staying mostly dry over these next 7 days, staying pretty warm as well, mostly seasonal, if about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average, and it looks like we're going to have another windy day in the valleys for a Wednesday. Pretty apropos. But I'll talk about all this coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, 2 DUI crashes just hours apart in Kennewick. We're going to let you know what happened and how one of those drivers was clocked at more than 120 miles an hour.
Plus, Franklin County commissioners are moving forward with a plan to take control of jail security, a move that's sparking debate among local officials. Our Dan Hansen has what that plan entails coming up.
And also coming up, a scam that's already cost Yakima residents thousands, now making its rounds again. What you need to know before falling victim to it. It's all here on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Monday, May 5th. Did you celebrate May 4th?
I did not. I slept for most of it. I was reading and doing other things.
I love a good sleep celebration.
Yeah, exactly.
And now today's Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, Cinco de Mayo. For some.
For some, yeah. Or just, enjoy some tacos like I always like to do. All right, we have a lot of news to get to, of course, this morning. Starting in Kennewick, authorities say they saw an uptick in drivers under the influence over the weekend.
That's right. This is 2 separate DUI-related crashes occurred just hours apart. Now, the first happened just after 10 p.m. on Saturday. Officers clocked a dark-colored Audi going 122 miles per hour on Clearwater Avenue. Before they could stop it, the driver ran a red light at West Steptoe, slamming into a 17-year-old driver who was legally crossing the intersection. Both cars ended up in a field, and the teen suffered only minor injuries. The Audi's driver, 38-year-old Jake Musser, was arrested for DUI and reckless driving.
And then just a few hours after that incident, authorities responded to another suspected DUI crash. This one just after 2 a.m. on Sunday. It was at East 10th Avenue and South Oak Street in Kennewick. That's where a GMC Sierra hit a parked car and then slammed into a tree. The driver, 23-year-old Daniel Noriega Alvarez, was arrested for driving under the influence, and luckily no one was seriously hurt.
In Kennewick, police responded to a business on the 100 block of North Ely where a woman reported she was touched inappropriately while walking back to her car on Thursday. Officers identified the suspect as 23-year-old Alexis Castro Tapia, and after an investigation, they found that he's been accused of similar behavior before. KPD is now urging anyone who may have experienced something similar to come forward and file a report.
And the Yakima man and 5 others were arrested in Grant County with roosters and drugs being seized. According to information from Moses Lake Police and the Grant County Sheriff's Office, authorities served a search warrant off of Road 4 in Moses Lake, and that was served based off of an investigation into drug sales in that area. Well, while the search warrant was in effect, investigators say they found evidence of what was described as a large illegal rooster fighting operation on the property. Authorities say they found 71 illegally modified fighting roosters, 6 firearms, heroin, methamphetamine, and $30,000 in cash.
In Fire Watch this morning, we're looking ahead to a planned burn in the forest northwest of Natchez, which could impact visibility and access throughout the week. The Department of Natural Resources is scheduling a 55-acre prescribed burn about 19 miles northwest of Yakima tomorrow, weather permitting, and smoke could reduce visibility on Green Dot Road, Malloy Canyon Road, and others nearby. Malloy Canyon Road will be closed for 2 days where it intersects with Grouse Haven and Bethel Tire roads.
A report showed Americans lost over $12.5 billion to scams just last year. Now Yakima police are sounding the alarm of a scam making its return to the area, one that has already been an issue in Yakima before.
That's right. This is the Publishers Clearinghouse scam. It's back and it's cost some locals thousands of dollars. Scammers are claiming that you've won a cash prize, but you need to pay a fee to claim it. And that's your first red flag, as the real Publishers Clearinghouse never charges a fee. Police say since a Yakima man lost $10,000 in 2017 to this very scam, the area has become a target.
Yeah, scammers are getting more creative every day, but you can stay a step ahead. Here are some tips to help protect yourself from falling victim to a scam. So first, verify the source. If you receive an unexpected call, text, or email offering a prize or asking for personal information, don't engage right away. Always verify the source by contacting the company or organization directly through trusted contact details.
Second, never pay for a prize. Legitimate contests or sweepstakes don't ask for upfront payment to claim a prize. And if you're told you've won, but you need to pay a fee first, that again is a red flag. Be wary of requests for wire transfers or even gift cards.
And lastly, protect personal information and never share sensitive information like social security numbers, bank details, passwords. Don't share that with anyone you don't trust. Scammers often use urgent tactics to pressure you into giving up personal information.
Now to a follow-up, Franklin County officials are moving full steam ahead with the controversial takeover of the jail and courthouse security.
Yeah, Dan Hansen says the county commissioners have a plan in place.
After voting to take control of the Franklin County Jail, commissioners say they're already making moves. A 9-page transition plan outlines how the county will separate jail operations from the sheriff's office, a process expected to be anything but smooth. Franklin County commissioners made a bold move, taking control of jail operations from the sheriff's office. And now they say they have a plan. Franklin County Administrator Brian Danzel says the county began the move by passing resolutions to shift control of the jail, which commissioners did. Next, the county will review its other ordinances to determine if any other resolutions related to the jail need to be altered. Commissioners and county staff will work with the county prosecutor's office to ensure they're following the legal process outlined in Washington state law and have safeguards in place. The 9-page transition plan outlines everything from inventorying weapons to redrafting contracts and says no jail staff will lose their jobs. But not everyone's on board. Tensions reached new heights Monday when Sheriff Raymond walked into the jail and walked out with 50 guns. The county says those weapons belong to the jail. Sheriff Raymond disagrees. Now it's up to a judge. A hearing will be held on May 8th to determine the legitimacy of the disputed court orders. A contempt could be serious, but the question remains, who is really in charge? The paperwork may begin the process, but the fallout is just getting started. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Dan. Now to read the full plan, just head to our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
Well, we're learning more about a shooting investigation that locked down part of Sunnyside on Thursday. Police were called to the 1300 block of Gregory Avenue just before 3 p.m. for reports of 2 men arguing. Officers say the fight escalated and it ended in gunfire. 17-year-old was shot in the forearm, treated, and later booked on 2 counts of assault. A 32-year-old Adon Muñez was also arrested for assault, both now facing charges for unlawful firearm possession. If you have any information, the Sunnyside Police want to hear from you.
Now, if you haven't updated your driver's license yet to a Real ID, listen to this.
Yeah, Washington's deadline to comply with the federal Real ID law is fast approaching. And without a Real ID, you could be grounded for your next flight. So the new law sets standards for state-issued driver's licenses and identification cards. Starting May 7th, these IDs will be required for domestic air travel and access to certain federal facilities. So if you plan to fly or enter a federal facility after that date, what do you need to know? Well, Apple Valley News Now has the answers.
They will pull you aside for secondary screening, verify your identity, so it could take you longer to get through the checkpoint, which could cause you to miss your flight.
So it's not like if you don't have that Real ID, you're definitely not going to get on it.
There is going to be a phase-in period where they will verify your identity. It's going to take longer. My understanding is eventually then there will be a deadline, but I have not gotten any word on when that will be.
Now, in the meantime, we know that most local DMV offices are packed. Some aren't even taking appointments until after Wednesday. As for when PSC will no longer allow you to fly without a real ID, Apple Valley News Now will be sure to let you know.
And you can use your passport as well.
Yes.
If you aren't getting a real ID, or if you are in that process of you're not going to get it by the 7th and you have to fly, you can use a passport if you have one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, millions who borrowed money for higher education are at risk of having their benefits or wages garnished. As today, the Trump administration is restarting the collection of defaulted federal student loans. We have all the details coming up in your national headlines.
But give you that live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino and Hotel Sky camera at Richland's Columbia Point. Just a beautiful start to our Monday. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will be back after the break with your First Alert forecast. It is 10 minutes after 5.
It's employee pricing with the Ford crew.
Employee pricing across a full lineup.
Fun fact, Hank, Ford assembles the most vehicles in the country.
Another fun fact, everyone pays what we pay.
So, you get employee pricing. You get employee pricing. You get employee pricing.
Sam.
Yeah?
Everyone gets employee pricing.
You get employee pricing.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house is the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
Spring is calling. Are you ready? At Queensgate Gardens in Richland, adventure starts in your own backyard. From lush hanging baskets to vibrant landscape flowers and garden starts, we've got everything to make your space bloom. Let's grow something amazing. Queensgate Gardens in Richland, where adventure grows.
For the record, when was the last time you saw Cal Bradford alive?
I walked the president to his room at 2204.
Did you kill him? Is a part of you happy that Cal is dead?
Hell's Canyon and the Snake River. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a little bit brisk out there for this morning as we're seeing 35 for Snoqualmie Pass, and for Ellensburg, we'll fill in the gaps. It's probably 35 for Cle Elum as well. 44 down towards Vantage. Then in the Yakima Valley, temperatures spanning 35 to 42, 35 for Yakima, 42 for Union Gap. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, these temperatures spanning from 37 to 46, 46 up towards the Hanford side, much colder down towards Hermiston. We're at 37. Then for the Blue Foothills, mostly in the mid-30s. We are seeing some low 40s for Milton Freewater, and then 20s and 30s up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. That's where it could be a little bit frosty this morning. Okay, here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff for this morning, but as soon as lunchtime, it's going to be more t-shirt weather out there as we're going to have high temperatures that'll be seasonal for the 5th of May. So that means mid-70s across the board for lower elevations. Plenty of sunshine. We'll be trending warmer as we head into the next couple of days, and then cooler into Thursday as we have a storm system. It's not going to bring us much rainfall at all, but it will bring us another round of some very gusty winds. And, overall, this is going to be a pretty dry forecast, but I'll show you some of the ebbs and flows to it. And again, the winds coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. 5:15 in your national headlines this morning. Millions of people who borrowed money for their education are now at risk of having their benefits or wages garnished. Today, the Trump administration is restarting collection of defaulted federal student loans.
Now it's part of a broader effort to roll back loan forgiveness policies and dismantle the Department of Education. Amy Kiley reports on what experts say borrowers should do, even if they don't think they've defaulted.
You can't just say, well, I think that'll all work itself out.
Collection of defaulted federal student loans resumes today after a 5-year pause related to the pandemic. Defaulting usually means missing payments for 270 days or more. The government says that can now lead to garnishment of state or federal benefits. It says it'll start garnishing wages this summer.
If your debt gets sent to collections, that goes onto your credit report, and that can impact your ability to get an apartment, a mortgage, a car loan, even some employer's check.
The Department of Education estimates about 5 million borrowers have defaulted on student loans. It says another 4 million are at least 90 days late on payments. Experts suggest all borrowers visit their loan provider's website to confirm their status and update their contact information. If a person is worried about defaulting, experts say they could look into an income-based repayment plan. Payment pauses, called deferment or forbearance, or consolidation or refinancing. The DOE says a person with a defaulted loan can learn their options through the Student Aid Office's Default Resolution Group. They might be able to restore their status through a process called rehabilitation.
It's time to, buckle down and figure out how you can make those payments.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Experts say it's also important to watch out for student loan related scams.
The Department of Financial Protection says to never share your federal student aid login or your PIN, and they're reminding the public that any company requesting upfront payments is most likely a scam.
All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We will check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth as we give you that live look outside from the Legends Casino and Hotel Sky Camera at Richland's Columbia Point. Just a beautiful start to your Monday. Josh is going to let us know just how the week is shaping up for us. We're back after the break. It's 5:17.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Okay, so you didn't win the new Car Legends giveaway in April. But guess what? The Palace of Prizes continues in May, where you could win a new Kia K5 as part of our 27th anniversary month. Use your Legends rewards card to earn entries for our Thursday drawings. Win up to $10,000 in cash at 9 p.m. Then come in on May 29th for a chance to win a new Kia K5. Hey, we know you had to spend that tax refund on new gutters for the house. This month, it's time to park a new ride in front of your Palace. Only at Legends Casino Hotel.
Discover the joy of music with a new Yamaha piano from Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, where elegance meets opportunity. For a limited time, enjoy 24 months of 0% financing on qualified new Yamaha pianos. From timeless grands to cutting-edge digitals, Yamaha delivers beauty, precision, and playability. Visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland, or call 509-567-3113. Life's more fun when you know how to play.
We think three-pointers should be called triple play.
And we brought in a basketball expert to support us.
Just former college and pro star Rob Sacre.
So, Rob, what do we call, one of these?
Triple play. Shooting triple plays wasn't exactly my specialty.
Well, outside shooters are well outside our budget.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Rob, how did you score?
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a beautiful day for Cinco de Mayo. Lots of sunshine out there, and high temperatures will be seasonal for the 5th of May. So that means we'll mostly end up in the 70s for lower elevations, 50s and 60s up in the mountains. And it will be a little bit breezy for today. Winds mostly out of the north and east. Peak gusts between 20 to 35 miles per hour. We'll have some lighter wind gusts up in the Cascades and in the Kittitas Valley. And then for tonight, the wind should be much calmer after 11 p.m. We'll keep the skies clear, and overnight lows are going to be down mostly into the 40s for lower elevations. Could have some upper 30s towards Pendleton, and will mainly be in the 30s for the higher terrain of the Cascades and the Blues. You might have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing, some of the highest terrain of the Blue Mountains. We'll keep the forecast dry for Tuesday. Then we have a storm system. It's not going to provide much rainfall, but it will be a little atmospheric impulse from Wednesday into Wednesday night, maybe for the wee hours of the morning on Thursday, but mostly dry for Thursday. There's Saturday could have another little round of some showers and thunderstorms as we head into Sunday. But for Wednesday, with that mostly dry storm system, we'll have some more wind gusts to deal with. Once again, in the Kittitas Valley, some of those peak gusts could be up around 50 miles per hour. That's going to be associated with a cold front. That's going to knock our high temperatures down by about 10 degrees between Wednesday to Thursday. So you can see seasonal for today, a little bit above average for Tuesday, about 10 degrees above average for Wednesday, and then back to seasonal stuff for Thursday. But that's just going to be a little blip as we'll turn more super seasonal for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry, warming, and breezy over the next few days, and then highs fluctuate to end the work week. In Yakima, warm and breezy for Monday and Tuesday, warmer and windy for Wednesday, then cooler and calmer by Thursday. In Ellensburg, stronger winds roll back around for Wednesday, but calmer again with beautiful weather for Thursday through Saturday. Then for Hermiston, lots of sunshine over the next 7 days, with highs mostly bouncing between 75 and 85, although we could touch 86 this weekend. And then for Walla Walla, a nice week of weather ahead with bright skies, warm highs, and limited rain chances.
All right, thanks, Josh. 522 still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Over the weekend, Lady Gaga held a historical performance in Brazil. However, authorities say they arrested 2 people before the show even started.
We will have the details on what happened coming up in your entertainment news right after the break.
I'm Eduardo Morfin. Morfin Law Firm thanks you for 5 years of support. Remember, when choosing an attorney, select a local attorney that supports your local community.
Did you know Tri-City Lumber Company isn't just for contractors? We're your local source for decking, railing, hardware, and more, open to everyone. For over 30 years, DIYers and homeowners have trusted us for quality materials and expert one-on-one advice. Now, under new ownership, we're making it even easier to shop local and build better. Skip the big box stores. Visit Tri-City Lumber today on Clearwater and Kennewick, or call us at 509-783-3322 today.
Got a family reunion in the works? Make it unforgettable at Beaver Valley Lodge. With cozy rooms, beautiful mountain views, and plenty of space to gather, it's the perfect place to reconnect and make new memories. Book direct with us and get 10% off. That means more savings for barbecues, bonfires, and all those late-night laughs. So skip the middleman and book direct today, because great reunions start with the perfect place to stay. Beaver Valley Lodge. Come as a guest and leave as a friend.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
It's employee pricing with the Ford crew.
Employee pricing across a full lineup.
Fun fact, Hank, Ford assembles the most vehicles in the country.
Another fun fact, everyone pays what we pay.
So, You get employee pricing. You get employee pricing. You get employee pricing.
STEM.
Yeah?
Everyone gets employee pricing.
You get employee pricing.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay, only from your local Ford dealer.
For 60 years, Woods Nursery has been inspiring families to create beautiful, joyful gardens in our community. Spanning 5 acres, it's one of the largest nurseries in southeastern Washington, offering a vast selection of plants, trees, and flowers, all grown in the USA. Explore handcrafted ornamental pieces made by American artisans, and get expert guidance from 3 generations of the Wood family, dedicated to helping you design stunning landscapes. Visit us today and discover everything you need to bring your outdoor space to life.
Hell's Canyon and the Snake River. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
Welcome back. In your entertainment news this morning, over the weekend, Little Monsters gathered to watch Lady Gaga perform on Copacabana Beach, Brazil.
Now, Little Monsters is what Gaga affectionately calls her fans, but they had to deal with the threat of real monsters, as Brazilian authorities say just hours earlier they arrested 2 suspects planning to bomb the show.
Andrew Dimbert has the details on the incident.
More than 2 million people descended on Copacabana Beach in Rio Saturday to see Lady Gaga perform in one of the largest concerts in history. But Brazilian authorities say just hours earlier they arrested 2 suspects planning to bomb the show. Officials say the suspects, a man and a teenager, were trying to recruit people into attacking the concert using Molotov cocktails and other explosives, allegedly targeting members of the LGBTQ community, a group Gaga has long supported.
And I feel a sense of community when I'm here that is so pure.
Police releasing this video detailing a massive operation leading to the arrests. The so-called Operation Fake Monster uncovering multiple online groups allegedly encouraging violence among teenagers. Despite the arrests, the show went on as planned, a Lady Gaga spokesperson saying prior to and during the show there were no known safety concerns nor any communication from the police or authorities to Lady Gaga regarding any potential risks. Just last year, Taylor Swift was forced to cancel shows in Vienna after authorities arrested teenagers accused of plotting a terror attack inspired by ISIS.
Oh my God.
And back in 2017, a suicide bombing at this Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England, killed 22 people and injured more than 1,000. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Now, Lady Gaga's Rio concert was the largest ever for a female performer.
Just a scary situation. Yeah. I know, you just hate the fact that that's even a reality.
Yeah, and it's making people scared to go to concerts these days. Yeah. I know, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, 100%. Luckily, they were able to thwart that one before anything bad happened. All right, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Due to limited resources, multiple parks in the Walla Walla district will be closed this season. Coming up after the break, find out which areas are going to be impacted and what services will be changed.
Plus, a big announcement from the WIAA. After 2 decades, high school students will soon be hitting the field for a brand new varsity sport. Our Dan Hansen has the details in your next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, President Trump says he is open to delaying the ban on TikTok once again. The company currently has until June 19th to be sold to a non-Chinese owner, but in a new interview, Trump says he's willing to delay the deadline again if no deal is reached by then. Next, Apple may soon stagger its iPhone release schedule, unveiling more than one phone a year. Online tech reports say more expensive versions of the new iPhones will continue being launched every fall, but standard models will be pushed to the following spring. The change is expected next year. And today marks the end of a communication era as Microsoft pulls the plug on Skype. Hundreds of millions of people used Skype in its heyday, but analysts say it failed to keep up with competitors. Microsoft is automatically moving Skype users to its Teams platform. Sounds like running Skype took too much cash. Those are your Tech Bites.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce me.
Which you do you want to be today? At TJ Maxx, you can afford to turn your closet into a place of endless expression with the quality you deserve. styles you crave, and prices you love.
I'm gonna do what I do.
Max, what makes you, you.
When allergies throw a sucker punch, the power of Claritin D punches back harder. Get fast, powerful relief of your worst symptoms, like nasal congestion. Claritin clears.
Some like them toasted. Eat them how you like them.
Pop-Tart. Crazy! This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, I feel like you're really close to your personal goal of hitting $500 for this 3-degree guarantee.
We're right on the precipice. I don't want to jinx it, but let's just go ahead and show you the numbers here. So on Friday, I went with a forecast high of 87 in Pasco Tri-Cities. It verified at 86. So the jackpot went up to $400. So here are the stakes for today. Going with a forecast high 75. If it verifies between 72 to 78, the jackpot's going to go up to $425. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code. It's on your screen. Right now, you're taking a live, beautiful look at the baseball diamond in Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. Already just a beautiful start out there this morning. Clear skies, a little bit brisk though, as we're down mostly into the 30s for lower elevations. Looks like we have a warmer pocket up towards the Hanford site, but the rest of us in the 30s, and for higher terrain in the mountains, 20s and 30s. So that's where it could be a little bit frosty. But for lower elevations, I'm thinking for now it's just a little bit too warm for that. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Lots of sunshine all throughout the day. We're already going to be into the mid-60s by lunchtime and then up into the mid-70s at the peak of daytime heating. Pretty normal highs for Cinco de Mayo, so that means mid-70s for lower elevations and plenty of sunshine. So just a beautiful day to get outside and to enjoy some of the festivities out there. And I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's beautiful Monday Cinco de Mayo forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. We start your 5:30 half hour of news out of Yakima with the traffic alert. Yakima drivers can expect some delays today as crews work on repairing areas of Yakima Avenue. So traffic in the area between Natchez Avenue and 4th Street will be restricted down to one lane in each direction while the project is underway. Project hours will be from 6:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Delays in that area are likely, and drivers should use an alternate route if possible until that project is complete.
Also in Yakima, a mother of 5, a community advocate, and also a small business owner, Juliet Potricas announces her candidacy for the Yakima City Council District 4 seat. She's a first-time candidate and says she's stepping up to focus on what matters most to families in her district. That's safer neighborhoods, affordable living, and creating real opportunities for working people to get ahead. The 40-year-old operates a dog-sitting business from her home, and she also substitute teaches in local schools and manages legal projects for a downtown apartment building. She says her campaign will focus on practical, people-centered solutions that reflect the needs of everyday families.
5:33 taking you to Walla Walla, where the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is closing multiple recreation areas across the district. Limited staff and resources mean priority locations will stay open, but others will be shutting down for the season. So visitor centers, parking areas, and campgrounds at locations like Ice Harbor, Little Goose, and Lower Granite Dams will see reduced services or full closures. Officials say these cutbacks will help them maintain safety and service quality where it matters most.
Looking statewide now, new safety rules at warehouses across the state are now being enforced, and the first fines have been issued. The Labor and Industries Department says they found violations at several distribution centers, including safety issues tied to worker quotas at places like Safeway, Amazon, and Walmart. The rules, which went into effect last July, require that quotas be clear, attainable, and also allow time for breaks and basic needs. Safeway has appealed 2 fines that together total $26,000.
Well, federal funding for the Yakima Valley Grow Your Own Consultorium and Masters in Mental Health Counseling will be discontinued. The Educational Service District 105 and Heritage University received the notification from the U.S. Department of Education. Officials say that the grants and partnerships were designed to address the critical shortage of school-based mental health professionals by creating a locally trained workforce. The initiative supported candidates from underserved communities to become school social workers and behavioral health providers in the regions they call home. Heritage and ESD 105 say they are currently working to support enrolled students. They also say that they're appealing to the decision to reinstate funding, as well as seek alternative funding and partnership opportunities.
Now, following up on a story we first brought to you last week right here on Good Morning Northwest, the Richland Public Library has marked the start of its new outdoor facility with a groundbreaking ceremony, and the library manager says this will be the first outdoor facility added to its location. This will allow for outdoor programming, be a play area for kids, and also a spot for people to work where there will be access to Wi-Fi. The manager says this project wouldn't be possible without the support of the community.
It's just exciting that the community really got together behind our two support organizations, the Friends of the Library and the Richland Public Library Foundation, to help support this space and continue to grow all the great amenities we have here at the Richland Public Library.
The manager also says he's hoping it'll be completed by late summer or early fall of this year.
5:36, and moving to some sports news this morning, where the WIAA has announced the results of their annual amendment vote. For the first time in 2 decades, high schools will be introducing a new varsity sport.
Ooh, our very own Dan Hansen says the gridiron is about to change. Take a look.
The organization that oversees Washington's high school sports officially sanctioned girls flag football as the first new sport for girls since 1999, and it's a touchdown for equality. Schools cited data that showed flag football is one of the fastest growing youth sports, with nearly 500,000 girls playing the sport in 2024, a 63% increase from 2019.
The 93 schools that were already playing, they're like, come on, let's get this thing going.
Starting August 1st, girls across the state will officially get to represent their schools on the flag football field. The push came from the Seattle Seahawks, and the whole NFL got behind it.
The Seahawks were very committed to this along with the entire NFL, so they've donated or provided funding for startup costs for schools, $381,000 to date, and they've told us they will provide another $200,000 this year to schools interested in starting it up.
That money goes to things like uniforms, flags, and footballs, helping schools get the teams off the ground. But it wasn't just about football. The WIAA also voted on other key changes, including a big update to student transfer rules.
It aligns more with school choice. So if a student is chosen to go somewhere starting in their freshman year and they decide there's maybe a different program, it lessens the penalty. And then if you do that and you transfer one time, you still sit out 40% at the varsity level.
Out of 16 proposals, 7 passed. Not all made the cut, but the message is loud and clear.
And if we want to stay relevant, we have to offer things people want. And flag football appears to be one of those.
It's official. August 1st, game on. A new sport, a new era, and a big win for girls ready to hit the field. Change is in motion, and these athletes, it's just the beginning. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
And Hoffman says that this amendment is the result of a 22-person committee established in January of 2024. It evaluated how WIAA eligibility policies align with Washington State education goals and objectives. All right, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A string of mysterious discoveries along the Portland rivers. 7 bodies found in just 3 weeks. But what's behind these alarming cases? Well, we have the answers coming up after the break. It's 5:39.
Hell's Canyon and the Snake River. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
We have a very special bond, I think, as a family.
Spectrum is the connecting thread to everything we do.
It provides us with reliability, lightning speeds, and allows us to do what we need to do in our lives.
From school to homework to entertainment, Spectrum's the perfect match for me and my family.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Hi there, I'm Stacy Lee, and it's time again for the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your worn or tattered U.S. flag to Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking in Kennewick, May 20th, and swap it for a brand new Made in the USA American flag as we celebrate America.
At Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking, we take pride in honoring the American flag. As Memorial Day approaches, we remember those who have served for our country. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Join us this Memorial Day in honoring those who serve.
Looking for the perfect spot to relax? Welcome to Hoops, your new favorite restaurant and bar, where the vibe is clean, the food is delicious, and the staff always friendly. Whether you're in for a night of trivia, around a pool, darts, dancing, pull tabs, or karaoke, Hoops has it all. Great food, great people, Hoops, where every night is a great experience. Hoops Bar. Stop by today for your next great night out.
At US Cellular, you can get the amazing new iPhone 16 on us, plus $300 off any iPad, like iPad Air.
That is a great deal. And now an unprompted song to express my excitement.
Just know both devices have Apple Intelligence with Genmoji to express yourself.
iPhone 16 stuns. iPad Air waits in the glow. Sweet.
We should start a band.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in or plan requirements, plus $300 off any iPad. US Cellular, built for us.
The Inland Northwest is a vibrant community, rich in tradition and pride. And Culligan has a long history of providing custom solutions to address the area's water worries, like nitrates, bacteria, and PFAS. Culligan, water you love since 1936.
How do you get ready for the Met Gala? GMA this morning. Michaels with fashion icon Anna Wintour. How good is that?
And it was, yeah, it's amazing.
This morning.
Will there be any surprises?
Yeah, that's show business. Come on.
On Good Morning America.
Tonight, it's the Judges Song Contest. They select the songs the finalists perform.
Breathtaking.
And your top 7 are revealed.
Do you have any idea what you just did?
American Idol, live tonight on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, folks. It is going to be a superb one out there. Lots of sunshine today in Kittitas County. High is going to be in the mid-60s up in the Cascades, mid-70s in the Kittitas Valley. Winds will be pretty light up this way, but down towards Salinas Pass, they could gust between 20 to 35 miles per hour. And then in the Yakima Valley, these winds gusting out of the north and east around 25 miles per hour. It's going to be sunny and 75 for today. And then in the lower Columbia Basin, gusts out of the north and east up around 35 miles per hour and highs spanning from the low to mid 70s. Then for the Blue Foothills, mid 60s to low 70s, maybe even some mid 70s up towards Walla Walla. These winds also breezy out of the north and east, gusting up around 35 miles per hour. Temperatures up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains going to be in the 50s and 60s. Just lots of sunshine. Again, just can't reiterate enough how nice today's forecast is going to be. Now let's talk about the big picture, the seasonal rainfall surpluses and deficits we've been tracking since October 1st. So here are the rainfall totals you would normally have for this time of the year. Here's what we actually have. And if you do a little bit of quick math, here are the surpluses and deficits that we're running. You see Ellensburg, Yakima, the Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Pendleton, all surpluses, a very subtle deficit in the Blue Foothills of Walla Walla County. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that much rainfall is on the way. We do have little tiny rain chances. Those are going to be pretty dry storm systems, but I'll tell you about those on the horizon coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:43 now, news out of Oregon, where the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has recovered 7 bodies from Portland area waterways. And this has all been going on since April 13th. The bodies found in a number of locations.
Now, Vasily Varlamov spoke with a witness who found one of those remains.
There were a number of fishing boats out there. There's a fair amount of traffic on the river.
George Sonnerberg was out fishing along the Willamette River Saturday.
when his son spotted what they thought was a sea lion at first, until they got closer.
And he said, it's a body. And we pulled around the thing, and I mean, it was hardly recognizable as a human body because it was so bloated.
In the last 3 weeks, first responders have recovered 7 bodies from Portland rivers. From April 13th to May 3rd, Portland and Multnomah County crews have recovered bodies from the Steel Bridge to Terminal 4 in North Portland and up to the Columbia River near Hayden Island. Now, authorities have not made connections between any of them.
It's just too coincidental that you have 7 bodies in the Portland Harbor in 3-week time. Something's strange.
It sure seems strange. So what's happening? Well, deputies say this time of year, they typically see an influx of bodies recovered from local rivers. And they gave 2 reasons. First, increased water temperatures accelerating the natural decomposition process, causing bodies to rise more quickly. Second, with more people heading out to enjoy the river, it's more likely previously undiscovered remains will be found. All this, though, not enough to keep Dellenberg from fishing, despite mounting questions.
Who these 7 victims are, or the cause of death, I just hope it ends soon. It's not a pleasant experience.
It definitely is not, and though the number may seem daunting, authorities say the number of discovered bodies still fall within normal range.
Yeah, they also add it is possible that there could even be more. So,
tragic.
Investigation underway. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. Giving you that live look outside this morning from the Dust Devils Stadium in Pasco. Beautiful start to your Monday. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will have your first alert forecast after the break. It's 5:46.
It's time for the $9.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. Your chance to get a great haircut at a limited time price. Save time when you check in on our app. But hurry, the sale ends soon. The Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
What makes NUU unique? The amazing customer service that we offer to our patients. They know that they're heard, that they're listened to, and we genuinely care about their well-being.
From the second I walked in that office, I felt seen, I felt heard, I didn't feel judged. It just was like, we're a team and we're gonna figure this out.
I had a rare form of breast cancer. Dr. Fedino has just been fantastic. She was really just on my side and helping me, and I'm so relieved and blessed that I went there.
I'm nowhere near diabetic, and I feel amazing. And I lost 55 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off.
She had saved my life because if she hadn't taken just that moment to ask me one extra question, I absolutely would have had an ugly cancer 6 months later.
Go to NUUWomen'sClinic.com to explore the countless ways that wellness meets beauty.
Welcome to Pasco, where we are building a community rooted in culture. Check out the Farmers Market downtown at Peanuts Park, Saturdays from May through October. Taste something new at one of our diverse local restaurants, the Pasco Specialty Kitchen vendor windows, or our growing food truck scene. And enjoy the natural beauty of our waterfront parks and the Sacagawea Heritage Trail. Shop small, explore local, and experience the spirit of Pasco. Naturally transformative.
At Fred's, discover the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. Introducing the new Electrolux 700 Series Alpine Green Washer and Dryer, the industry exclusive. 2 ways to sanitize. Remove bacteria and sanitize your way with the Cold Sanitize option, paired with Lysol Laundry Sanitizer, or use the NSF Certified Hot Sanitize setting, the most efficient washer on the market. We sell appliances, only appliances.
It's time for the $9.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. Your chance to get a great haircut at a limited time price. Save time when you check in on our app. But hurry, the sale ends soon. The Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Judy Justice, today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a beautiful day for Cinco de Mayo. We'll have plenty of sunshine outside. We'll have high temperatures that'll be normal for the 5th of May. So that means mostly in the 70s for lower elevations, 50s and 60s up in the higher terrain of the Cascades and Blues. Will be breezy for today. Broad time frame for the breezes, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. But in general, these breezes out of the north and east gusting between 20 to 35 miles per hour, although they'll be much lighter up in the Cascades and for the Kittitas Valley. Then for tonight, we hold on to clear skies. Overnight lows mostly going to fall down into the 40s for lower elevations, 30s up in the higher terrain of the Cascades and the Blues. We'll keep dry weather in the forecast for Tuesday. Then there's a storm system for Wednesday, late Wednesday into the wee hours, the very early morning hours of Thursday. Pretty dry for Thursday through Saturday. Then another little impulse that we might have to deal with as we head into Sunday. But let's talk about that Wednesday storm system. It's not going to provide that much rainfall at all, but it will provide us some more gusty conditions. Once again, these gusts will mainly come out of the north and west, although for certain microclimates they'll be out of the west and southwest. But once again, the Kittitas Valley peak wind gust up around 50 miles per hour. Y'all should be pretty accustomed to that at this point, especially with the stretch of weather we've had over the past month. High temperature is going to be a little bit warmer for Tuesday, about 10 degrees warmer than normal for Wednesday, and then we'll be about 10 degrees cooler Wednesday into Thursday because of that aforementioned storm system. But that is going to be an aberration as we'll return to values about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry, warming, and breezy over the next few days, and then highs fluctuate to end the work week. In Yakima, warm and breezy for Monday and Tuesday, warmer and windy for Wednesday, then cooler and calmer by Thursday. In Ellensburg, stronger winds roll back around for Wednesday, but calmer again with beautiful weather for Thursday through Saturday. In Hermiston, lots of sunshine over the next 7 days with highs mostly bouncing between 75 and 85. And then for Walla Walla, a nice week of weather ahead with bright skies, warm highs, and limited rain chances, although we could see about a 10% chance of some showers for Sunday.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:51 and time for your morning sprint with the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. 2 DUI crashes in Kennewick just hours apart. One driver flipped his truck into a tree on 10th Avenue. Another speeding at 122 miles per hour, ran a red light and hit a teen driver. Both drivers that caused these crashes were arrested for DUI.
The DNR is planning a 55-acre prescribed burn northwest of Yakima for tomorrow, and the goal is wildfire prevention, but drivers should expect smoke and possible closures near Melloy Canyon Road.
Now, police are warning about the return of Publishers Clearinghouse scam in Yakima. Victims are being told they've won money, but they have to pay a fee first. Officials say don't send cash, always verify first. Authorities say the area has become a target for this scam. It's already worked there before.
Washington Labor and Industries has fined Safeway $26,000 for violating new warehouse quota laws. The rules, which went into place last year, protect workers' rights to breaks and also require clear and fair quota expectations. Safeway is appealing the fine.
Well, due to limited staffing, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is temporarily closing and scaling back services at several Walla Walla District recreation areas, also visitor centers, parking areas, and campgrounds at locations like Ice Harbor, Little Goose, and Lower Granite Dams will see reduced services or full closures. Officials say these cutbacks will help them maintain safety.
International headlines this morning: 3 people are killed and 5 hurt after a shooting at a steakhouse in Glendale, Arizona last night. Police say they believe more than one shooter was involved, and they say they detained several people, but they didn't immediately announce any arrests. Investigators say they're still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. Former Vice President Mike Pence is this year's recipient of the John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award. The event took place in Boston yesterday. Pence is being honored for putting his life and career on the line and overseeing the certification of the 2020 presidential election results. And this award was first created in 1989 and recognizes public servants who have made courageous decisions without regard for professional or personal consequences.
5:54 in your business headlines this morning. Fresh tomatoes are being recalled in 3 states. The FDA says tomatoes from H&C Farms may have been contaminated with salmonella. The affected tomatoes were packed and sold to wholesalers and distributors between April 23rd to the 28th. For more information about the recall, you can go to fda.gov. And Chinese e-commerce site Temu says it is overhauling its shipping model as a key U.S. tariff exemption expired on Friday. In a statement, a company spokesperson says all sales in the U.S. will now be handled by locally based sellers. The company also says it has been recruiting U.S. sellers to join the platform. Temu had previously used what's known as the de minimis exemption. That allowed shipments of goods worth $800 or less to come into the U.S. duty-free, but that loophole has now expired as the result of an executive order signed by President Trump last month.
In your health headlines, public health experts have raised serious concerns about the EPA's new plans targeting PFAS. These types of chemicals contaminate drinking water and are called forever chemicals because they don't break down in the environment. They accumulate in our bodies and have been linked to health problems, including various types of cancer. Experts are concerned because under the Trump administration and EPA's new plans, it's not clear if the agency will defend the rules, rescind them, revise them, or uphold them.
5:55, talking sports now this morning. The Seattle Mariners faced off against the Texas Rangers over the weekend. It was a tough battle, but the Rangers ended up taking the Mariners for a 8-1 loss. Mariners have a chance at redemption tonight when they go head-to-head with the Oakland Athletics. And the Kentucky Derby concluded this weekend. The 3-year-old beat the favorite Journalism on a very sloppy track at Churchill Downs in Louisville. Sovereignty is trained by Bill Mott and entered the race as one of the favorites at 9-1 odds. This was the first Derby win for jockey Junior Alvarado and second win for Mott as the horse in the 19-field race headed for the final turn. Journalism and Sovereignty were neck to neck, but Sovereignty pulling ahead at the very end to claim the run for the Roses. Did you guys watch the Derby?
I did not, but I saw who won, and I love the names, Journalism.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
that was my pick, of course.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of it?
I did not.
I watched it for the race and for the hats.
Yeah. Oh, for the hats, yeah. I really want a hat. One day.
One day, yeah.
Well, trending now this morning, a team of scientists have unwrapped the mystery about a mummy's preservation in Central Europe.
Okay, the human remains were first stored in a church crypt in a remote Austrian village. A group of international researchers used advanced techniques to find out how this mummy came to be so well preserved.
They discovered a unique embalming method was used, so it was a mixture of small wood chips and fabric that was packed inside the mummy and kept it in its air-dried state.
Ooh, so the team also concluded the mummified body was Franz Xavier Sidler von Rosenegg, say that 3 times fast. He was an aristocrat and monk who became a parish vicar, and he died back in 1746 at 37 years old.
I'm gonna need to hear that name just one more time.
Let me scroll back up. Franz Xavier Sidler von Rosenegg. Franz Xavier Sidler von Rosenegg. There we go.
There you go.
2 times fast.
Nailed it.
If you say it a 3rd time, he appears.
Franz Xavier Sidler von Rosenegg.
Yay.
I got it. I didn't even look at it. Look at that memory.
That's a lot.
A lot. Yeah. It's a mystery that's solved, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But I want to know how he
images.
died.
Wild.
37 years old. I mean, I guess back then.
That was probably really old.
Yeah.
He's someone's grandpa.
I know.
Goodness. Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up at 6, we're going to talk about those 2 DUI crashes in Kennewick. They happened just hours apart, one including a high-speed crash, another resulting in injuries.
Plus, a prescribed burn is set to take place near Yakima very soon. What you need to know about smoke impacts and road closures, that is coming up in your 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Well, tracking a lot of sunshine up in the sky. We're going to see a lot of that over the next 7 days. We do have another round of winds that's going to be in store. I'll tell you when we can expect that coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.